Welcome to the WRC podcast. I'm your host, Katrina Marie, and you're in the right place. Here at the Well-Rounded Counselor podcast, what you can expect is to learn, shift your thinking, and gain personal and professional growth. And if you have not yet done so, hit that subscribe button so you never miss another podcast episode. The conversation starts now. Hey everybody, it's me, Katrina Marie, your favorite podcast host here on the Well-Rounded Counselor podcast, and I'm so excited to talk to you today. I don't know, I just had this burst of energy, and I was like, I gotta go home and record a podcast. I don't know, it's Friday afternoon maybe, the weather's a bit cozy today, I kind of feel like being home. And I don't know, I just felt really inspired to give you guys some good content. And one of the things I realized is I want to make my content more punchy, more short and sweet. So I'm going to create more mini episodes, so mini-sodes for you. And today I want to talk to you guys about some of the challenges that school counselors face. And I want to talk about 3 key challenges that stand out that I see consistently in not only international schools, but schools worldwide. But this can be applied in any kind of work environment. So it doesn't have to necessarily be a school. It can also be like a clinic or somewhere else. So I just want you to know that sometimes my content might be more centric to school counselors. However, it is transferable to many other occupations. So without that, as much as I'm excited, my words are getting tongue-tied. So before I dive into today's episode, I want to talk about that I have my services. I'm sure you guys are all aware. I'm going to just briefly touch on it. Right now, I'm offering a new client offer. You get 55% off. So my regular price is for 30 minutes, it's $120. 1 hour, it's $225. But on this bundle, you get to work with me for 45 minutes for $89. So you can choose to work with me for 45 minutes straight on a call about your unique situation. Or you can do 30 minutes of a call plus 15 minutes of a resume review. And the reason why I'm promoting this right now is because I know many of you guys come to me for job advice. And as much as I feel like flattered, I really want to help everybody, but it's impossible. And it's impossible to know all of your nitty-gritty details in a long essay that you guys write to me. And I'm telling you, I get a lot of these. So I'm trying to create more mini-sodes to kind of give you some general advice. But if those of you that are serious, that want to work with me, that see the value in what I'm sharing, because again, I want to deliver high quality content. I want to deliver value to you, things that are relevant that you can take and implement. Really, it comes down to you implementing it and give you guys, quality services. So I can't help everybody unless you're willing to invest in yourself, because I'm the kind of person that knows the power of investing in yourself. There's the whole psychology around once you put money behind something, you take it more seriously. And that's a whole nother episode in itself. But I know what that does. You actually feel motivated because you've actually paid money, and then you have to actually put into practice what your coach or mentor is telling you. So the people that I do work with, I listen to their situation. I try to identify ways for them to find resolutions, but then really after the call, it's up to you to implement those steps. And then if you want follow up with me, we're here to help you follow up or re-strategize. So basically, I want you guys to understand that I'm all about helping counselors and educators work abroad. So you guys get hired for high quality schools, not just any school, but schools that are at your level, at your caliber, or at your desired outcome. So that is my goal. I love helping students study abroad. So I thought, why not help counselors work abroad? So this is kind of where I'm at, and it's recruitment season. So let's just dive into the episode. All right. So school counselors, they face a variety of challenges in their role. Like burnout is real, and I talk about this a lot. I talk about well-being, but there are 3 key challenges that often stand out. And I want to talk about the first one. A lot of times, and I do face this in my current role, we have high student to counselor ratios. Now, my ratio might be a lot less compared to some other people, but it's all relative, right? So it's all about the demands of the school, the student population, the expectations, how administrators and higher ups value and how they see a school counselor. Do they put importance on that? Do they invest in their counselors? What kind of training do they give to them? All of this is factored in like behind the scenes to kind of create this outcome of how many students you actually have to work with, right? Now, again, High student counselor ratios doesn't mean you can't do a quality job. It just means you have to get a bit clever. And many schools struggle to, balance this out, especially even with teachers. Sometimes classrooms have 30 students to one teacher, and that's a high ratio. A good quality school is going to have maybe 20 or less, sometimes even 15 or less, depending on the school. So if you want to deliver high quality education, high quality counseling, yes, it is better to spend quality time with an individual. It kind of goes back to what I was talking about earlier, coaching, mentoring. I can't help everybody, but the ones that do really want my help, the ones that are really willing to invest the time, are going to be able to reap the benefits. Now, how do we deal with this challenge? You're wondering, okay, Katrina, like I get it. How do we deal with this? So, in order to provide individualized attention and support to each student, you need to learn how to advocate for improving your staffing needs. I know that the art of negotiation is a whole nother topic in itself, but counselors can work with administrators, parents, community members, and advocate. It might not be an overnight thing. You may have to pull some data and crunch some numbers to really state your case, but you can advocate for increased funding and additional counseling staff to reduce your caseload. Now, if that's not going to happen anytime soon, you can even look for an intern. There's lots of people who are doing certificate programs that are looking for a practical, hands-on internship at a graduate level, or if they're changing careers. So again, you can even hire an intern to help offload some of these tasks. Okay, I'm going to jump into number 2, emphasis on administrative tasks. Okay, so the challenge in this one is school counselors often find themselves spending a significant amount of time on administrative tasks such as paperwork, scheduling, and data. Okay, these things are important. Okay, they tie into other things that we do, but it leaves less time for direct student contact. And I know if you look at ASCA and ISCA, their standards of student contact is 80% contact time and 20% other, the administrative tasks. So it's important that we try to not lose sight of that and emphasize strategies and solutions to our administrative superiors, right? So here are some solutions that I think people need to really start being aware of, okay? And this is another, again, I have so many topic ideas, but I'm just going to dive, very on the surface of this topic, okay? We really need to start tapping into the power of technology. So if you're somebody who's 40 and above, you might be a bit resistant to this. Maybe you're excited about this, but it's here and you need to learn it, and you need to learn how to leverage technology. Okay. There are so many technological solutions that can help streamline your task. Okay. Using electronic record keeping systems, scheduling software, AI, all these things that some people question the uh, ethical concerns around. There are ethical ways to use it in your day to day job. And I am a proponent of it. I see the benefit. And honestly, it's going to make your life so much easier. So you need to figure out ways. And if you work with me, I can tell you, when you work with me, I can tell you what works well, what doesn't work. And again, it's case by case, school by school. Everyone's situations are different, but streamlining your processes, your operating procedures, how you run an office is going to minimize so much just unnecessary things you might be doing in your day. Okay. So if you decide you want to work with me, I can go into nitty gritty details, see what you're doing, and help you come up with better standard operating procedures about just basic how to manage your tasks, how to manage and streamline processes where you're not feeling overwhelmed and drowning in your work and burnt out. So, technology. The next one is delegate non-counseling tasks with maybe school administrators or other staff members such as teachers or grade level leads, or however it is structured in your school. Maybe you have a dean of students, maybe you have an IB coordinator, maybe you have an AP coordinator, maybe you have a teacher that's looking for extra income and wants to be the SAT coordinator. Streamline these things to other people, because again, some of these things are not really counseling related, but they dump responsibilities on a counselor. So if you can identify the key things that you need to focus on, and you work with other counselors and you are part of professional organizations, they will all back this up. You need to identify the key things that you actually should be doing and dedicating your day-to-day tasks to. And then of course, some of these administrative tasks are in your office, but there are a lot of things you can offload to other people. And they will be able to do those probably better than you, because they might have the capability or the time. Okay. I'm all about helping you be efficient and save you time and not get burnt out. So these are two key things to help you with this challenge. The third thing is limited mental health resources. Okay. If you are a college counselor or just a school counselor where you're doing academic advising or you're doing other types of counseling, well-being, mental health plays a crucial role in anything we do these days. We're working with students, we're working with colleagues, we're working with people. And at the end of the day, a school counselor or counselor, people are going to turn to you. You wouldn't believe how many staff members just pop by my office. They want to just say hello, and then they end up opening up their whole situation to me. Okay. I'm sure many of you have faced this. So, schools have limited resources for addressing students' mental health needs or even staff needs, and it can make it difficult to provide comprehensive support. Now, we're not saying you should, have full on 1 hour sessions every week with a student. I'm not saying that. Unless you are in a situation where you can provide that or that is solely your role, then yes, do that. But a lot of times that's not the case. Even if you are a well-being advisor or school psychologist, that's not always the case. You can't dedicate 1 hour a week to every student. You're not going to be able to help everybody in a productive way and still manage all of your other responsibilities. So you need to figure out how you can collaborate with community partners. Okay. So there's lots of probably clinics or mental health resources in your local community, and you can build partnerships with these local mental health agencies, community organizations, and other professionals to help enhance the resources for mental health. Okay. Again, don't feel like you have to do it all by yourself. I'm proponent of leveraging your resources, networking, creating relationships with people. Heck, if I'm going to go back to career counseling for a second. Okay. So for career counselors, if you're a career counselor, for a long time, I personally was against outside consultants. Okay. I was against it for a long time. I was like, no, the student needs to work with me. Okay, I've gotten to a point where I'm like, you know what? If the student wants to work with somebody else, say la vie. I can focus on the students that actually want to work with me and let those students work with somebody else. They will need me eventually, but I'm not going to be hurt and bothered about it. Like, I'm not going to take it personally. If anything, as long as I somewhat know the reputation and the credibility of the outside consultant, it makes a world of difference. And you can listen to my episode with Magda, how we talk about bridging the relationship between school counselors and outside consultants. So I think if you know the credibility of the consultant, it can actually help you focus and leverage your time better at work. So just saying. Another thing that you can do is develop and implement preventative mental health programs. So again, if you're limited on resources for like mental health or even college counseling, you can create resources that address common themes, common issues. For example, stress, anxiety, managing your time better, study habits, bullying, all these things to help prevention, right? Mental health, we want to prevent it from happening. So it's a good idea to create preventative measures. Another thing that we implemented this year was student ambassadors in our office. So we have well-being ones and university ones. Oh, I'm giving away all my secrets today, but I feel a little generous. So we have university ambassadors and we have well-being ambassadors. And so we've created roles and responsibilities of how they can help with the preventative measures. Of course, they're not counselors and they're not going to replace our role, but we've given them some of these responsibilities to create preventative measures and be advocates for mental health and role models and things like this. So you can do what you want with that. This is just a little tip that you can take away. So anyways, those are my three key things that I've noticed that are challenges for counselors. And I wanted to create some solutions for you guys that you can actually start immediately implementing in your situation, in your school, and at least walk away feeling like, okay, this episode, I got some inspiration and I'm going to make some changes on Monday, because this episode will come out on Monday, so maybe that week or the following week. So anyway, you get what I mean. Anywho, everybody, it is so important to address these challenges on a wider scale, more in detail, because amongst collaboration and networking, we're always going to be able to contribute ideas amongst each other. So if you don't have a counselor network, come over to my LinkedIn page, follow me, get familiar with my content, become besties with me. I don't know, work with me, whatever it is, read my book, figure out a way that you can feel inspired, help yourself. You don't have to be in this journey by yourself, because I've been there and I didn't know what I didn't know. And I'm so grateful for the career that I've had and the experiences I've gained, because now I'm able to empower other counselors to help themselves. So super blessed, super excited. Anyways, everybody, I hope this mini-sode helped you, and I'm looking forward to hearing your feedback. Talk to y'all soon and see you on the next episode. Did you love the episode? I hope you're feeling inspired and no longer feeling alone out there, and you're ready to evolve and become a better person. Make sure that you share this podcast or take a screenshot and post it on your social media. That's how you help spread this podcast organically, and people can find it much easier when you share, or share it with a loved one. I'm your host, Katrina Marie, and make it your mission to be a blessing in someone else's life today.